From Capital Credit Union Park in Ashwaubenon, Wisconsin, it's time for Rockford Rivets baseball as they face off against the Green Bay Booyah. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Rivets YouTube network. I'm Adam Cohen, going solo tonight. The Rivets have lost 11 out of their last 12 games, so they have desperately struggled as of late, but somehow they still find themselves in a playoff race. However, they have to win both games, not just this one, but the one tomorrow night against Green Bay. Fortunately, one of the reasons why they have been so close in this playoff race is because Green Bay has lost 9 out of the last 10 games and have won 2 of the last 13 games at home. So both teams have been struggling. The Rivets have been struggling with pitching and defense. Meanwhile, Green Bay has struggled offensively, so it'll be interesting to see how these two teams clash tonight. But before we get started, let's hear what manager J.T. Scara has to say. I'm here with manager J.T. Scara of the Rockford Rivets. J.T., the Rivets need to win both games of this series in order to advance and go into the playoffs for the first time since 2017. What is the energy like in the dugout right now?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, the guys are excited. So, basically we're in the playoffs already because we need to win the next 2 games. So everybody's pretty amped up, and we're, excited we accomplished our goal of making this series matter, and now we're going to go out there and have some fun and give it our best.
The way to get to this series was not easy for your team. You guys have lost the last 11 out of 12 games. You guys got swept by the Loggers and have to win, of course, both games here. What positives are you and your team taking away heading into tonight's game?
Well, I mean, everybody knows that this team was kind of thrown together, and, we had one workout, and then we just started playing, and so it took some time for everybody to get to know each other. It took some time for me to try to figure out what different guys can do, but as of late, I have felt good about the way that we've been swinging the bats. Jackson Dvorak and Sam Beers have kind of emerged as 2 of our better hitters, or more consistent hitters, I should say. Getting them at the top of the order has really helped us score some runs. I think 16 runs and 12 runs back-to-back days, and of course we only won 1 of those games. But that's so the 2 positives is we feel like our bats are coming around. Guys are getting to see some pitches, and we played tough against Green Bay the first 2 games that we were thrown into this situation. So losing 3-2 and 4-0, 2 very competitive games to start off the restart of the season. We definitely feel like we can compete with these guys.
Offensively, as you mentioned, you guys had back-to-back 10-plus games. Before then, you guys were averaging under 2 runs per game. What changed offensively for you guys?
Well, I don't think anything changed. It's cliche in baseball, but there really, truly was 4 or 5 games in a row where we felt like we lined out, probably 5 to 8 times a game, and myself and hitting coach Matt Schmidt just kept telling the guys, like, you just got to stay upbeat. They're going to start to fall. Keep having the at-bats that you're having, and that showed in those 2 games that we weren't lying to them. So they kept their approach. We tried to make sure that they didn't get frustrated, and finally we're able to string some big innings together in those 2 games.
Although the offense has been starting to come around, the pitching and defense have still been a sore spot for the team. How can the pitching and defense be better heading into tonight's game?
Well, we told the guys, and I am really pleased with the attitudes and effort of the pitching staff. Is the pitchers just have to throw strikes, and once the ball is contacted, it's out of their control. So unless you strike somebody out or walk somebody, everything else is you're relying on your teammates. And we've had a couple days of early work with ground balls and trying to shore some of those things up for the defense. I'm also hoping being here on the turf will help our defense. Those first 2 games, I don't remember the exact stats, but those were probably 2 of our more solid defensive outings over here a week and a half ago. So hopefully that that'll help our infielders, and they just have to try to make some plays that we haven't been making, but it hasn't been from a lack of effort.
Although the defense has struggled at home and perhaps at other stadiums, you do mention how the Green Bay artificial turf could help them out. Do you think your team was affected by the Rivets Stadium infield?
No, I don't think so. I think because we made some errors in Fond du Lac and Wisconsin Rapids. So again, you take a bunch of kids that haven't been playing a lot and they're thrown into a fire. Most of the teams normally everybody's having guys come in and out, but there's always a core group of guys that are still around, and it was a tough situation to be in for some of these kids that most of them had not been playing and getting game speed reps, and but now we've had a week and a half of that, and these games matter. So it was a tough situation for them to be in, but it was an exciting situation for them and a great opportunity for them. So again, these kids are doing early work every day and getting their reps in during batting practice, and they're doing the best they can to prepare for every single game.
One important player that is back out there tonight for your team is the starting pitcher, Brendan Lowry. He has gone deep into ball games the last 2 times around. So what can you expect from him tonight?
Well, for him, I really like the way he throws. I never met him, and obviously I've only seen him throw twice, but he's had two pretty good outings, so, and he's got some really, he's a big body left-handed pitcher, upper 80s, can touch 90, low 90s, and a pretty solid breaking ball for what would have just been a true freshman in college. So if he can stay in the strike zone, he's really going to give us a good shot, and if we got the whole bullpen ready, if he struggles with throwing strikes, that's been his downfall in both of his innings, is when he's in the zone, he's been really tough. But just the amateur pitcher doesn't make adjustments as quickly as the professional pitcher, and we're in a situation with our backs against the wall now, so we're not going to be able to have time for him to work his way out of it if we get into 7, 8, 9 balls in a row, like has been his downfall a couple times. But so we'll have to go right to the pen right away. But I'm really looking forward to see what he can do, and for the future to see how he can handle a pressure situation like this, because the stuff is really there for him, and he's got a lot brighter days in front of him. So I'm glad he's taking the mound for us tonight, and hopefully he can give us at least 5 and hopefully go from there.
Thank you for your time, JT.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome back to CCU Park. We are just about to get this game underway. The Rivets are the away team, so let's see how manager JT Scarce lines them up. So leading off is Jackson Dvorak, the first baseman. Batting second is Sam Beers, the hefty DH. Batting third is Colton Klein, the left fielder. Batting fourth is Johannes Hawkinson out of Concordia, Wisconsin. Batting fifth is the contact machine, Phil Hyland, playing second base. Batting sixth is Jake Tweedkamp, the catcher from Judson. Batting seventh is Breck Noet, the RBI machine, playing shortstop. Batting eighth is the two-way player, Sam Vomhoff, playing third base. And batting ninth is Troy Tucci. The Rivets will face off against right-handed pitcher Jack Dyke. He is a 6'4", 215-pound freshman from Northwestern University. The Green Bay Booyah have a ton of Division I athletes, and of course it is a Big Ten matchup. He hails all the way from San Francisco, California. So even though San Francisco has its fair share of good weather, this is a beautiful baseball night as well. It is 82 degrees out here in Wisconsin. Beautiful night for baseball. Not too many clouds in the sky. And Dyke is hoping that his fastball can even ride a bit higher. Already throws decently hard as it is. Throws 85 to 87 miles per hour. However, he's just been in the bullpen twice. in both of his appearances. So Booyah manager Tom Carty just hoping that he can go 2 to 3 strong. Jackson Dvorak, the leadoff hitter, taking some swings before he get things going on. And CCU Park, 338 down the line and 282 down the left field line. Just check that right field line. And the first pitch to Dvorak, and that one is popped up over the head of the press box booth and out of play. Dvorak entering tonight's game is batting .317 with a .440 on base percentage. Both really good numbers, and there's a reason why he's stuck in the leadoff role because of them. Also has 10 runs scored. The 0-1, and he swings and misses that one. So he's quickly behind. Dyke can have a good night if he can pepper the strike zone, something that's been a little bit tough for him during this season. Dvorak will step back in the box, sporting white batting gloves. And here comes the 0-2 from Dyke. He posts that one into right field, and that one will just find foul territory. It was about 2/3 up the right field line before tailing away into foul territory. As implied earlier, Green Bay has some interesting mentions. Just 282 down the right field line. Dvorak has great opposite field power. The 0-2 from Dyke misses upstairs. The Rivets are sporting their road gray uniforms with yellow lining and yellow numbers, while the Booyah are sporting their white uniforms with blue lettering. 1-2. Dvorak punches that one out into left field. Good leadoff base hit. Makes a turn, but he will coast back to first base. Dvorak has been a true leadoff hitter. So many times he started off the game by getting off a hit by pitch, by a walk, by a base knock, just exactly what the doctor ordered. It's good speed on the base paths too, but has been caught stealing twice. So with Dvorak on first, enters Sam Beers, sophomore from Concordia, Wisconsin, the first pitch, and just misses outside. Beers is a tall 6'3" right-hander, but he crouches and almost makes himself under 6 feet tall. He also is sporting white batting gloves, a throw over, and Dvorak is back in time. He also has a tan bat and a black helmet. Screws just scored 2 runs yesterday. Hoping for more offense tonight. The 0-1, a bait swing and a miss. Checked it now, it's 1-1. The first pitch was a ball. Bait scoreboard out in right center field. Probably the largest scoreboard anywhere in the league. Stretches at least 100 feet. Here comes the 1-1 to Beers. And that one misses upstairs. Beers has a great eye of the strike zone. He does have 5 walks this season, batting .314 with a .415 on base percentage. Especially up in the zone, he knows that most umpires in this league don't call by the letters. Throw over. Once again, Dvorak is bat safely. Dyke trying to keep close tabs on Dvorak at first. 2-1 to Beers. And foul tipped into the glove of Steven Hrustich behind the dish. So it'll be 2-2. Dyke stares in. Now comes set. Wheels and deals to 2-2. Fastball misses outside. Dvorak ran for the first 10 feet just to get the catcher and the defense moving and off guard, but he did not go. Might go on the full count. Not the biggest lead off first base. And the payoff pitch. No running from Dvorak, and straight 3 called on the outside corner. Beers knew it too, and he is down on strikes. 1 away. That is Beers' 11th strikeout. So even though he has great contact skills, he can also strike out a bunch. Another player who's a fixture in the Rivets lineup is none other than Colton Klein, the product of Carthage College. A few Rivets with an extra base hit. The first pitch is right on top of it, but fouls it straight back. In last night's game, he got his first extra base hit, that double that we were mentioning, went 1 for 4, and also struck out. It's another middle-of-the-order bat that will strike out a lot, but also has great plate discipline. The 0-1, Dvorak on the move, the throw down to second, and Dvorak is in there safely. So that's his first stolen base of the season, and that's important for the Screws. Coming into tonight's game, they have just 3.8 runs per game on offense. However, they did score 28 runs in a 2-game stretch that happened on the 16th and 17th versus Fond du Lac and then La Crosse. Hoping more of that offensive production tonight. The 1-1 decline, and a strike right down the heart of the zone. He was not looking for that one, taking it all the way. Takes his time outside the box, spits on his hands, and he's right back in there. Big lefty hitter. Dite steps off. He's someone that scouts have asked about regularly when he was at Rivets Stadium. They love his size and athleticism. He's a two-sport athlete. Here comes the 1-2. And fastball just misses outside. Good take from Klein. Not a bad pitch from Dike either. And the last pitch he set up on the outside corner, got the strike, went a little bit more outside, but Klein, with his great discipline, did not bite. Klein stares in and reads a sign. Dvorak off second base. The pitch, and straight 3 called on the inside corner. So back-to-back Ks for the Screws, and 2 outs away. If you're just tuning in, it is a tie ball game, 0-0 in the first inning between the Rockford Rivets and the Green Bay Booyah. The Rivets, of course, on the road. They need 2 straight wins if they want to make their first playoff appearance since 2017. Johannes Hawkinson steps up in the box, center fielder in tonight's game. He's only played in just 4 games before this one. First pitch, fastball misses low and outside. One of the reasons why Dike got the start tonight was because he had a scoreless inning outing against Wisconsin Rapids Raptors, who can really hit around opponent pitching. The 1-0 from Dike. Big swing and a miss from Hawkinson. In fact, Tom Carty liked it so much that he gave Dike the start tonight. Doesn't expect him to go too long, as mentioned previously, just 2 to 3 innings. Turn over to the bullpen, which has not been bad for the Booyah. Pitching-wise, they have been pretty good in their last stretch. That one's fouled back. Now 1-2. Hawkinson has been excellent so far in those 4 games, batting .462. 4 straight games, and has 2 multi-hit games during that span. He also has 5 RBIs, which is especially important with Dvorak, a good base runner on second base. Pitch, misses low and outside. Be a 2-2 count. Hawkinson, similar to his teammate Sam Beers, they both go to Concordia, Wisconsin. Most of these Rivets players are from Wisconsin or Illinois. 2-2. And straight 3 called as Jack Dike retires the side on strikeouts and wraps up 3 called-looking strikeouts. So the Rivets strand 1 and do not score. We'll be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. Welcome back to CCU Park. Scoreless ball game as we head into the bottom of the first inning between the Rivets and the Green Bay Booyah at the Booyah's home turf. Let's see how Tom Carty, the Booyah's manager, lines things up. Leading off is Nadir Lewis out in center field. Batting second is Andy Blake, the power hitter at shortstop. Batting third is another power hitter, Nick Kreitzer, playing first base. Batting fourth in cleanup is Weston Eberly in right field. He's a new player. Batting fifth is Cameron Tilley, the DH, one of 11 returnees for the Booyah since the start of the season. Batting sixth is Stephen Hrustich. Seventh is Noah Granite. Hrustich is at catcher. Granite is at second base. Ty Onet batting eighth in left field. And Nick Santoro at third base to round things off. And on the mound for the Screws is Brendan Lowry, who has made 2 starts this season. His last time out, gave up 4 earned runs and 4 2/3 innings pitched to the Rapids. And the first pitch to Lewis. It's a fastball right down the heart of the plate, 0-1. As mentioned by manager JT Scara, he's hoping that Lowry can go at least 5 today. First pitch, second pitch, and that one misses outside, now 1-1. Both times out, Lowry got some good depth, the 1-1. And once again, that one misses high and outside. That's been his miss in the first 2 balls of the first at bat. Lewis has played in 22 games and has 5 home runs. 2-1. Foul tipped off the glove and goes back to the screen after that. 2-2. He also is batting .264 in the season, is 8 for 8 in stolen bases. Rivets have not done well with runners on base. I'd like to keep the leadoff hitter off the board. The 2-2 from Lowry, and Lewis fouls it off. Top of the screen, behind the plate. Wind is blowing out towards left field, which is good, because there's a lot of lefty hitters in CCU Park. First pitch. And that one misses low and outside, so it'll be full count. I should say there's a lot of lefties in the Booyah order. 3 of them to be exact. Full count. And fastball just misses outside. That was a good frame from the catcher, Kleekamp, but he could not get the call. So Lewis is on board. If manager Tom Carty has done his good research, he will see that the new Screws have just thrown out 2 base runners and had over 30 stolen bases since the restart. Got to watch out for Andy Blake, but luckily Lowry is a lefty, so you can watch him at first base. Left on right matchup. Batter is Andy Blake, the shortstop from Columbia. Pitch to Blake. Bait, swing and miss. Got him on the off speed. Nice changeup from Lowry. Since I'm from New York, I actually live very close to Columbia, about half a mile away, and I've walked past it a decent number of times. So Blake is near my territory. The 0-1. And that ball hits the top of the screen behind the dish. So Lowry is quickly ahead. Screws have given up their fair share of first inning runs. 5 runs 2 nights ago in the first inning and 7 runs in the second inning last night. Put themselves behind early. Here comes the 0-2. And Tapper through the hole into left field. Just a nubber from Andy Blake. Didn't hit it all too hard, but just in the right location. And here comes the Green Bay Booyah bat dog to retrieve the bat. Don't see that pretty much anywhere else in the Northwoods League. Little happy fella. About a medium-sized dog and wearing a red vest. He's very good at his job so far, and he's a good boy. Batting is the lefty Nick Kreitzer, the senior from Arkansas. Left-on-left matchup for Lowry. Runners on first and second with no one out. Here in the scoreless ball game, the bottom of the first. And that fastball is dialed in on the outside corner for strike one. Lewis is on second. Blake is on first. Good speed on the base paths. Long stare in from Lowry. Sporting a tan pitching glove. The 0-1. And fastball just misses outside. Camp has framed the ball well in the outside corner. Subtle movement, trying to bring it back inside. But home plate umpire Trevor Patience is not letting up on the call. Living up to his last name, the 1-1. Fastball again misses outside. That time a little more into the right-handed hitter's batter's box. First base umpire is Mike Carr, and the third base umpire is Connor McKenzie. Kreitzer is batting .333 on the year with 4 home runs. Here comes the 1-1, and that fastball misses low and outside. So Kreitzer is a good power hitter. Definitely eyeing that 282 sign, something that he is probably used to hitting over. 3-1 from Lowry. That fastball finds the outside corner. For the most part so far, Lowry is working Kreitzer away, not trying to give him anything to pull. However, Kreitzer is a player to hit to all fields and can very well hit over the 338 sign in left field. Here comes the payoff pitch, and ground it to first. Dvorak will take it himself and step on the bag. So Kreitzer has himself a productive out, moves both runners over. Lewis goes to third, and Blake goes to second. So with 1 out now, in a scoreless ball game here in the bottom of the first, a RBI opportunity, 2 RBI opportunity for Weston Eberle. He has played in just 7 games so far and has just 1 RBI, so he's hoping to increase that total. Left on right matchup. First pitch from Lowry. Fastball misses high. He's gone mostly with the fastball early on, as is customary first time through the order. Mixing in his changeup and curveball every now and again. Here comes the 1-0. Popped up, shallow center field. Coming in as Hawkinson, who has a great arm. He makes the catch, makes the low throw home, cut off by Sam Vomhoff at third. So great pitching from Brendan Lowry. So he had that productive out, and Strand, Lewis at third, and Blake off second. So with 2 away, another longtime hitter in the Green Bay Booyah lineup, it is Cameron Tilley, the junior from Akron. He's actually an Australian native. Not too many foreign-born players in Northwoods League, so one of the rare few. Another left-on-right matchup. Tilley trying to drive in home a pair. First pitch, fastball clots the inside corner. You already see that Camp is setting up inside. Lowry throws in the low to mid-80s, so if he does miss inside, needs to just try to keep throwing in the hands. The 0-1, and fastball misses outside. That was a nice snag from Camp. The ball was in the left-hand hitter's batter's box, and to flip over his glove to catch it in time, holding the runners. Camp is a great two-way catcher, both offensively and defensively. The 1-1 from Lowry, and fastball misses above the belt. Even though it's 282 down the right field line and 338 down the left field line, which is already weird dimensions, there is a big gap in center field. It could almost be considered triples alley. And here comes the pitch. The fastball misses inside again. So it'll be a 2-1 count to Tilley. Tilley on the year batting .208 with 10 RBIs, 14 walks, and 17 strikeouts. Did not play in yesterday's game. And the day before, he went 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Ari's hoping for a strikeout here. The 2-1. Popped up. Once again over the press box. Now 2-2. The press box is angled a bit. Kind of both sides are facing towards the field. Has a big indent in the middle. And I'm sitting outside of this very temperate night at 82 degrees. Very comforting. A 2-2 to Tilly. That one's poked up the middle. It will go through for a base hit. One run comes around to score. Hawkinson will make the throw to cutoff man, and another run comes around to score. It's a 2-run single for Cameron Tilly as Lewis and Blake come around to score, and they're up 2-0. Early lead here in the bottom of the first at Capital Credit Union Park. Well, as mentioned before, the Rivets have given up early runs. That has been a common theme where they are down early on, already putting themselves in a hole early on in the ball game, something that they did not want to see. However, with their offense being so good, they just need Laura to get out this jam and keep firing some strong innings. Batter is the switch hitter, Stephen Rustich, batting from the right-hand side, and first pitch in there for a strike. 0-1. Rustich has been another mainstay all year long for the Booyah. A lot of teams lose their players, but Rustich has stayed for Green Bay, the 0-1. Fastball misses outside. Camp had to scooch over to make that one. He has great power, and he's a bona fide hitter, but just batting .178 in 39 games. It's been a struggle for him as of late. Here's the pitch, and fastball misses upstairs. A throw down to second, and he is out. Very close play, bang, bang call, but a great throw from Camp will end the inning. Not before Cameron Tilly, the DH, had a 2-run single. Booyah had 2-0 over the Rivets. As we'll be right back in the second inning. Booyah 2, Rivets nothing. We are back at CCU Park. Once again, the Rivets trailing early on. They're losing 2-0 at Green Bay's home park. We'll be up to the 5-7 hitters this inning to try to change things around, starting off with Phil Hyland, the second baseman out of Rockford University. The first pitch from Dyke, and a little tapper, but that one will roll foul, first base side. Picking it up is the catcher, Rustich. Hyland is a type of hitter that you can place anywhere in the order. He can be a leadoff hitter, be a middle of the bat hitter, even bat seventh, which he's done a couple of times this season. Great contact skills, just 4 strikeouts, 11 games, and batting .296 on the season. The 0-1 to Highland. And a strike at the belt. Highland not too happy of that one. Many umpires won't call strike over the belt. Quick behind 0-2, and here comes the next pitch. Fastball misses low and outside. Dyke had a amazing first inning. Gave up a leadoff single and then struck out the next 3 batters looking. The 1-2 from Dyke. Fastball misses in the same spot, low and outside. Once again, this is an offense just added 3.8 runs per game. 1-2, and that one's roped just over the tip of the glove of Nit Santoro into left field. So once again, the Screws start off with a leadoff single. Doesn't matter where Phil Highland hits it, he hits one hard. Almost every time around. Almost acting as a second leadoff hitter in the game so far. So he led off the second. Green Bay up 2-0 here in the top of the second. Highland off first, no one out. Jay Kleekamp at the bat. Takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Kleekamp, the Judson sophomore, batting .333 this season. 6 for 18. Dyke deals the 0-1, and that one is fouled straight back. Lights are already on early on, despite it still being rather sunny out. Twilight has not taken effect just yet. Throw over. Highland is back in there safely. Dyke has a very quick move off the mound, something that is surprisingly common in the Northwoods League. The 0-2. And strike 3 called right down the heart of the plate. So that's the 4th looking strikeout of the ball game. 1 away in the second. Green Bay still up 2-0. And this is a Rivets team that is considered one of the best contact teams in the Wisconsin-Illinois pod. And now they have gone down looking 4 times. The pitch to Nowick is in there for a strike. Right on right matchup. Nowick is just a high school senior. 1 of 3 on the Screws, along with Justin Prestis and Noah DeLuga. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball in the same spot, right down the pipe. These Rivets hitters are not trying to swing as often as they usually do today. Usually they'll jump all over the first pitch, but they're working themselves deep in the counts on good-looking fastballs. Runner going, curveball in the dirt. Throw over to second, and the ball gets loose from Noah Granite. So it'll be a stolen base for Phil Highland, as both him and Granite are on the ground. That's a nice boat of sportsmanship from Highland. Pits up Granite, make sure he's okay. He's a very nice young man. Always has a lot of energy and a positive attitude, so makes sense why he has great sportsmanship, as do pretty much every player in the Northwoods League. Just a pitch to Nowick. And fastball finds his zone. And once again, the Rivets are down looking. 6 strikeouts now, all have been looking. And it's so surprising. Once again, these Rivets hitters don't strike out all too often, just around 8 times per game, which is low in the Northwoods League. And they usually go down swinging. Or they'll swing at the first pitch, rather. Instead, it's just 3 strikes, and now you're out. First pitch to the lefty, Vomhoff. Fastball misses low, good take. Catcher Stephen Harustage tried to frame that one up in the zone, but did not get the call from Trevor Patience. Vomhoff is a third baseman from UW Whitewater, soon to be redshirt junior. The 1-0, and it's in there for a strike right over the heart of the plate. Vomhoff is batting .214 this season with a double and RBI. Duck on the pond for him as Highland is off second base. 2-0 ball game. Green Bay over the Screws here in the top of the second. 1-1, and that one misses upstairs. High and outside. Vomhoff sports a white batting guard, elbow guard, I should say. Many hitters choose to go that route. And here comes the 2-1. Fastball misses way inside, nearly hit Vomhoff. Rivets are among the Northwoods League leaders in hit by pitches, and Vomhoff does stand in on the plate. His back foot is on the line. So it's a little bit difficult to pitch him inside. 3-1 from Dyke. Fouls that went off the screen behind the plate. Screws are so good at making contact. Not in this game so far, but they can usually go the other way. There's a big open left side between a third baseman and the shortstop. That's eyeing and calling Vomhoff's name. Here comes the payoff from Dyke. That ball snubbed foul off the left-hand side. Just got a piece of that one. It was off the end of the bat. Vomhoff started out as a pitcher for the Screws, but is now primarily a hitter. And yet a second RBI. Playoff pitch, and a tapper to second. Granite throws the first in time, and that's the inning. Screws strand a runner in scoring position and do not score as Green Bay will take a 2-0 lead into the bottom of the second. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. Welcome back to Rivets Baseball. We are about to get the bottom of the second underway. Green Bay is still up 2-0 over the Screws, getting both runs, of course, in the first inning, thanks to a 2-run single from Cameron Tilley. The batter is now Stephen Hrustich. Pitch in there for a strike right over the heart of the plate. Hrustich was up at the plate to end the first as Tilley was caught stealing at second. The 0-1. Right on and fouls it straight back. One of my favorite baseball tidbits is that you know you're on the ball if you foul it straight back. Now, one player who always knows that is Puig, who will smell his bat, smell the smell of burnt firewood. Here comes the 0-2. Fastball misses outside. And if he can smell the firewood, smell the steam a little bit off the bat, then he knows that he was right on top of it. You often look at two sometimes. Here comes the 1-2 to Hrustich. Big swing and a miss. as Lowry gets his first strikeout of the night. The Screws need him to be effective, as they did not have too many runs last night, just 2 to be exact, and have not done too much so far in the ball game, stranding 2 base runners. Pitch to the right-hand hitter, Noah Granite. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. Grin is a second baseman out of Princeton University, batting .208 in 16 games this season. Here comes the 1-0 from Lowry. Fastball misses low. Granite has 2 stolen bases on the year. And in yesterday's ball game, he was 0 for 3 of his strikeout. The 2-0. Pokes that one the other way. And that one goes foul. Not the best 2-0 pitch you want to swing at. That was very well located from Lowry on the outside corner. And that's not usually you want to go middle in when you're hitting 2-0. Here comes the 2-1. Fastball misses high and outside. Rivets pitching has allowed their fair share of walks, averaging over 6 per game. Here comes the 3-1. That one misses low and outside, so that's the second walk from Brendan Lowry tonight. And so many times since the Rivets restart, which saw their entire roster, nearly their entire roster leave, 33 out of the 34 players left and a whole new roster was constructed. Since then, they've really gotten their fair share of trouble with walks. Fastball misses low to the left-handed hitter, Ty Olnick, one of 5 position players that have stayed all year long for the Booyah. He's batting .155 in 39 games. Has 46 strikeouts. Here comes the 1-0, shows bunt again. That one's called for a strike. Just tuning in, Booyah up 2-0 here in the bottom of the second over the Rockford Rivets. Noah Granite off first base, and 1 out is on the board. Here comes the 1-1 from Lowry. Actually, he beats me out and throws to first base instead. Talked about a good pickoff move. As Granite goes back to the base safely. He was not fooled by that one. Here comes the 1-1. And a fastball misses high and away. Against the left-handed hitters tonight, Lowry has mostly gone outside, not even trying to test the right field blue monster. 2-1. An excuse me swing will go foul to the third base side. So Lowry is back in the driver's seat. Once again, Olnick does have 46 strikeouts this season in just 39 games. Love to pick up his second strikeout here. He comes set, gives a look to first base. Lifts his leg and fires towards home. And a big swing and a miss, so he does get that second strikeout. That was a nice curveball that just kept tailing to the right-hand hitter's batter spots. And now 2 away. So Lowry, who just had 1 strikeout last time, right now is 2 tonight. Green Bay still up 2-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. 2 outs and a runner on first base. Righty Nick Santoro. Skies one the other way and out of play. Santoro's a new player, and he has not done so well so far. Batting just .111 with 6 strikeouts. He does have a stolen base, however, and 1 RBI. And runner going, fastball called for a strike to throw down to second, and not in time. That was a great tag from Phil Highland, who almost got slid into there. Probably just whiffed his leg. He'll be all right. And taking second is Granite. So once again, the Booyah have a runner in scoring position. Something Rivets pitching has not handled well this season. Many runners to advance via the stolen base to get themselves in scoring position. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball misses outside. Check that, it's 1-2. Santoro, like many players between these two teams, is from UW-Whitewater, soon to be redshirt senior. The 2-2 from Lowry. Big swing and a miss. So Lowry strikes out 3 hitters this inning. And Booyah strand 1. So they do not score. They'll take their 2-0 lead into the third inning. We'll be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. Welcome back to Rivets Baseball. Through 2 innings so far, the Booyah maintained their 2-0 lead over the Screws. If a win today, the Booyah will advance to the playoffs for the first time since 2015. We're hoping that Jet Dyke continue to be strong. He has 5 strikeouts on the night so far. All of them have been looking. An uncommon trend that has not happened too frequently to the Screws. It'll be 9-1-2. Troy Tucci, Jackson Dvorak, and Sam Beers to lead off the top of the third. Right on right matchup. Here comes the first pitch of Tucci. Tucci shows bunt, and that one will remain foul. It started off on the first base line, kept drilling on it, but then went foul, and nice job by Nick Kreitzer at first base to pick it up in foul territory. Tucci, after hitting that bunt foul, put his hands on his helmet as if to say, I had that one. It was a good bunt and just rolled foul. Here comes the 0-1. Takes a strike on the middle third of the plate. Tucci has not seen much action as of late. First game back in the starter in a while. The fastball misses upstairs, 1-2. Is batting just 105 in 10 games played. The 1-2 to Tucci. And a high tapper to third. Going to be a long run for Santoro. And he makes the strong throw just in time, says first base umpire Mike Carr. He waited a second, made sure the call light pointed at the bag, and gave the out signal. Good hustle from Tucci, who has appeared in as a defensive replacement and as a pinch runner several times this season, but just unable to get on board for leadoff hit, something the Rivets did in the first 2 innings. So with 1 away here in the top of the third, Booyah still up 2-0. Jackson Dvorak back up at the plate. He singled in his last time up. Leadoff hitter taking the first pitch and driving that one deep into left field, and that one will hook foul. That one was about 3 bounces away from the 338 sign in foul territory. Gave that one a ride, and he has immense power from the right side. The senior out of Lewis hit some long fly balls this season. In fact, probably one would have gone over the 282 Blue Monster out in right field. A wall that stands about halfway up the foul pole. Dvorak steps back in there. Here comes the 0-1. And the fastball misses outside. Dvorak has gone on base in a multitude of ways. Mostly by hits, but also has 5 walks and 4 hit by pitches. The 1-1 and fastball looked good from perspective behind the press box booth, but was not called a strike. Great take from Dvorak. Many fans were not happy with that one. Here comes a 2-1. Bait swing and a miss. Pulled his head out on that one. It was a meatball down the plate. He was looking towards the 338 sign. Right by the American Family Insurance sign out in left field, but did not get a hold of that one. Needs to protect. Dyke looking for a sit strikeout, the 2-2. Dvorak somehow fouls one off. Great defensive swing from Dvorak. His left foot was bent and he was way out in front, but made a nice defensive swing to stay alive. When Rivets are going well, they can have long at-bats and foul off a ton of pitches. 2-2 once again. And posts that one out into center field. It's a 2-hit night for Jackson Dvorak. Adair Lewis will throw it in. Dvorak did have a stolen base last time up. Screws are just 7 for 10 this season in stolen base opportunities. And now the coach, Billy Henley, coming out to the mound just to check in on Dyke. Socially distanced mound visit. They're sitting 6 feet apart. So following COVID protocol, and once again, this is an entirely new roster for the Screws. Originally had 34 players to start the season, most of them D1 athletes. All but one left. Brought back 25 plus players, most of them from D3 and JUCO schools. They have struggled, but a lot of grit. None of them seem discouraged, and all of them think they can win both games of this series and make the playoffs for the first time since 2017. So 1-on-1 out to Sam Beers. Pitch misses high and upstairs. Breaking ball did not break. Just tuning in, Green Bay's up 2-0 here in the top of the third. As mentioned, 1 man out. And Jackson Dvorak on base, the leadoff hitter. Beers, number 2 hitter, takes the 1-0 and bait swing and a miss. Always looking towards right field. He was trying to poke that one out towards the other way. Both his doubles this season have come towards right. Behind that short porch. Throw over to first, and Dvorak is in there safely without a tag from Kreitzer. Beers does have 9 RBIs in the season, the 1-1. Another big swing and a miss. Was not happy about that one, yelled at himself. His pitch upstairs where he lights it and just cannot get a hold of it. He does have 11 strikeouts now. Throw over again. Dvorak back in there safely with the tad this time. Beers is one of Dyke's 5 strikeout victims tonight. Dyke trying to get his 6th strikeout the pitch and misses head level inside. First baseman from Concordia, Wisconsin, pokes it to shortstop. Blake will take himself, fires to first, and Kreitzer holds on. So it's an inning-ending 6-3 double play. And the Screws do not score and leave no one on. Green Bay will hold on to their 2-0 lead as they'll take it into the bottom of the third. We'll be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. Green Bay is up 2-0 through 2.5 so far. Welcome back to CCU Park. It'll be top of the order for Green Bay as we're about to get the bottom of the third underway. Lowry out there for his third inning of work. He struck out the side back in the second. Booyah have had some interesting promotions tonight. The Bat Dog, they've had a little girl eat a donut hanging from a string without using her hands, and also had hit the water ball. Here comes the first pitch to lefty Lewis. Left on left matchup, and that one misses low. They're actually feeding water balloons to a little girl out in right field. And she was swinging them and making herself covered in water. 1-0 from Lowry. And that one is driven deep into right center field. Long run for Hawkinson. He somehow makes the grab. What electric speed he has out there in center field. He kept tracking that one down, kept tailing towards right field. Had to run a long way, about 3 steps away from the track, and he hauls it in for out number 1. He has been a great two-way player for the Screw since joining Rockford just 5 games ago. Here comes the first pitch to the righty Andy Blake. And a low tapper to shortstop. Hustling in is Noah, firing on the run. The low throw. And it was dug out by Jackson Dvorak. How do you like that? Back-to-back defensive plays. The first one from Hawkinson, the second one from Dvorak. And 2 quick outs for Brennan Lowry. Still the bottom of the third, 2 away. Here at Capital Credit Union Park, Green Bay still up 2-0. Left and left matchup now. Nick Kreitzer, the batter. Takes a fastball that just misses low and outside. Screws need some length out of Lowry. The last 4 starting pitchers cannot go into the 4th. Here comes the 1-0, and that one's dialed in for a strike on the outside corner. Lowry just shifted that one slightly over to get the call. Winds and deals the 1-1. And same pitch, same location, same strike. Lowry is in full control of Green Bay here in the third, trying to give his offense a chance, an offense that has been struggling the past 2 games. The 1-2. And a curveball did not get the call. It looked like a good one. Started out in the knees in the left-hand hitter's batter's box, dunked in for a strike, but Kreitzer is just a bit too tall. 2-2 from Lowry. Fastball misses head level towards the middle part of the strike zone. There's a head 0-2 on Kreitzer. Now Kreitzer has worked it back full. Wants to have the first 1-2-3 inning for the Screws tonight. Payoff pitch. And fastball misses low and outside. So Lowry issues his 3rd walk. The Screws, in addition to their 8.83 starter ERA, they also have a high whip, which indicates how many runners reach base an inning. 1.98, so around 2 runners reached per inning. First pitch to the righty Eberle. Fastball misses low. So far, Lowry has not had too many base runners, most of them coming in the first inning. Here comes the 1-0. And smoked hard, but foul. The bullpen has a artificial mound, does not have dirt on it. And it just went over that in the bullpen for Green Bay. Lowry back out there towing the slab, sporting some stirrups. Here comes the 1-1. And the off-speed changeup misses low and outside. Decent amount of the Rivets players, especially the starters, will wear the stirrups. sporting the black and gold screw colors. 2-1. Fastball misses high. So after getting 2 quick outs, Lowry walked Kreitzer after being ahead 0-2, and now he's behind against Eberle, the right fielder from Columbia. 2 players from Columbia in the lineup. Here comes the 3-1. Popped up, shallow center field, and Hawkinson will come in to make the grab. So Lowry once again throws a scoreless inning. The Booyah strand 1 and do not score. And they are still up 2-0 as we head to the 4th. We'll be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. After 3 innings of baseball, Green Bay is still up 2-0 over the Screws. As we are here in Ashwaubenon, Wisconsin. Once again, just talking about the promos here, the fans are completely animated with it. They'll have third base side cheering, first base side cheering, and leave it up to the PA announcer to make the decision on who was louder. Also, will throw balls into a giant, almost butterfly net to fans as one of the promotion ideals. And I gotta say, other Northwoods League teams can take a page out of the Booyah's book. It is quite entertaining. The fans are so loud here at times, especially when things is going for the Booyah, or however, during the promo events, that you can hear them ringing by the press box. Even with my headset in, even with the sounds of the ballpark, can still hear the fans throughout the course of the ball game. The fans are, of course, hoping for a Green Bay win. And the Rivets hoping that their offense can wake up. Bit of a long deal away before this inning gets started. As the catcher for the Booyah, Stephen Rusich, goes to the mound to talk to Jake Dyke before the first pitch is thrown. It'll be 3-4-5 for the Screws. Klein, Hawkinson, Highland. First pitch, and a fastball in there for a strike. Dyke does throw 85-87. That was one of his harder throws of the night. Shakes off a sign, now ready to go. Winds and deals the 0-1. Same pitch, same result. These Rivets hitters are weirdly patient tonight. Always ready to jump on the first pitch and always ready to jump on strike, something that they have not done tonight so far. Dyke with the hold, and Klein backed out last second, so Dyke did not deliver the pitch. Klein was one of 5 looking strikeouts for Dyke, the 0-2. And now he's gone down looking for the second straight time. Dyke racks up his 6th strikeout, and don't know what Klein was looking for. All of them were fastballs. All of them were around the zone. So 1 away. Here in the top of the 4th, Green Bay up 2-0. And no one on base. Anderson Hawkinson takes the first pitch and fouls the one straight back to the screen, 0-1. Hawkinson is riding a 4-game hit streak and just his 5th game played. The 0-1, and that one is fouled off the netting. He even goes towards the fan. It kind of rolling off the netting, went over the netting. There we see a little kid come and get it. Older fellow with a beard tried to get the ball, but he let the kid have it. Nice man. On hold. Now here comes the 0-2 to Hawkinson. That one is poked foul and out of play, and that one ricochets back onto the field. Hits the bottom of the seats on the right-hand side and then came back in. A little bit of wall ball here at CCU Park. Once again, here comes the 0-2. Excuse me, swing. That was more to protect himself. Hawkinson was about to be drilled by the pitch on the arm, just flared out his bat, and was able to foul it off. And yet another 0-2 pitch. And that one, this time around, Hawkinson goes down swinging. 2nd strikeout for him. 7th strikeout for Hawkinson. He is wheeling and dealing tonight. Has just allowed 3 Rivets hits this inning. Or 3 Rivets hits throughout the ball game, I should say. Correction. Enters the righty, Phil Hyland. Fouls it straight back. Hyland has been one of the few hitters to make contact against Dyke tonight, and he also has a hit to boot. Signal to left field his last time up. The 0-1 from Dyke. Popped up. That one will make the seats towards the first base side. And Dyke has done something that a lot of Rivets pitchers have not since the restart, and that is dialing in strike 1 and being ahead of hitters. Here comes the 0-2. Fastball misses low and outside. Dyke looking for the first 1-2-3 of the night. Trying to strike out all 3 batters for outs. Once again, the 1-2. And Hyland pushes that one out towards right field. Coming in is Weston Eberle. So Dyke does get the 1-2-3 inning. He's been dominant through 4. Green Bay up 2-0. We'll be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. Through 3.5, it has been all Booyah. They are up 2-0 as the Rivets are looking for starter Brendan Lowry to throw another scoreless inning of work. After giving up 2 runs in the first, he has thrown 2 scoreless innings, something that has been a rarity for Rivets starting pitching. He breaks a 4 consecutive night streak where a starter has not reached a 4th. It's giving the type of outing that manager JT Scara has wanted. Enters in the righty Cameron Tilley, the DH from Akron. Here comes the first pitch. A tapper foul. Green Bay Stadium, CCU Park. is completely on artificial turf. A lot more true ground balls. Here comes the 0-1. And the strike hits the lower part of the zone. Nice fastball from Lowry. And well located too. Ground balls will also be a lot faster on the artificial turf. Lowry ahead 0-2. Here comes the pitch. And straight 3 call is a meatball on the inner third. Tilly thinks otherwise, but don't know what he's arguing about. That one looked pretty good. So Lowry picks up his 4th strikeout of the night. So with 1 away, it'll be up to Hrustic to try to add to this 2-0 Green Bay lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning, the first pitch. And a big swing and a miss. Lowry is dialed in. He is not allowed a base hit since the first inning. Here comes the 0-1 to Hrustic, and the off-speed misses low in the dirt. Hrustic now has 40 strikeouts in 40 games. Not to be confused with 40 nights and 40 days of rain. The 0-2. That ball is lifted the other way, but in foul territory. So Hrustic stays alive. Similar to his pitcher, Jack Dyke, he is a Northwestern player. The 0-2 from Lowry once again, and that ball is lifted in foul territory. Everyone racing out, and who's going to make the catch? And the right fielder, Troy Tucci, going back towards his left in foul territory and makes the overhead catch. He was ranging to his right, stopped, full send, went back, made the catch, and then fell on his bum. Somehow he made that play, and it helps out Lowry and the Screws. That's the reason why he's out there. Has great defensive capability. First pitch to the righty, Granite. Fastball misses upstairs. As mentioned earlier, Tucci was itching to play. Not used to being a backup player at Rockford University. Happy to make the start tonight, the 0-1. Ball poked right to Dvorak, who catches it on the fly, but taps first base just for good measure. So Lowry answers with a 1-2-3 inning of his own, as Green Bay will take their 2-0 lead into the top of the 5th. We'll be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. We are back. New pitcher for the Green Bay Booyahs. Are up 2-0 here in the top of the 5th. It is Logan Lee, the first pitch to Kleekamp, and that one misses low and outside. Lee has pitched in 7 games for the Booyah, the 1-0. Bait swing and miss from Fleet Camp, 1-1. He's won 2 games, has a 3.26 ERA and 30 1/3 innings pitched. Goes to Northwood University, the 1-1. A little number foul. His teammate Brett Nowick will give it to the dugout. Fleet Camp, the sophomore from Judson, has struck out once tonight in his only appearance. The 1-2. Ball fouled straight back. And Noah gets the ball once again. Baseball Madden over there. Logan Lee relieves Jack Dyke, who just allowed 3 hits and struck out 7. The 1-2 and straight 3 call in the outside corner as a drop third strike. Rustic will complete the putout. And the Screws are down looking once again. 7 out of the 8 strikeouts tonight have been looking. They're not a team that strikes out this much early on. They're not a team that strikes out looking for that part. So with 1 away in the 5th, Green Bay up 2-0, and Logan Lee picking up right where Jack Dyke left off. The first pitch to Nowick, and he fouls that one straight back. A little bit late on it. Nowick will be heading to University of Illinois Chicago next year. The 0-1. And he fouls that one straight back again. Spun around after he just barely got a hold of that one. It's a little bit off balance on that swing. And Lee, like his counterpart Dyke, are really ahead of these Rivets hitters. Here comes the 0-2 to Nowick. And he fouls that one. Screws have really struggled offensively tonight. Had 8+ hits in their last 4 games. You just have 3 through 4 1/3. The 0-2 and fastball misses low and outside. No, it does have good plate discipline. 4 walks to 13 strikeouts. The 1-2 from Lee. Little tapper up the middle. There is Blake. Fires to first in time, gets him by a step. And Nowick is retired. The last 6 Rivets hitters have been shut down. And Sam Vomhoff enters in with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Green Bay up 2-0. Nobody on for the Screws. Vomhoff, one of 2 left-hand hitters for the Screws tonight. First pitch from Lee. That ball is laced foul and out of play. Green Bay has a lot of standing room towards the third base side. Here comes the 0-1. And fastball misses outside. Yet some chirps from the fans out there. These Green Bay fans are animated. 1-1 to Vomhoff. And that one just a little closer and does get the zone. Now 1-2. Lee looking to get the Booyah second straight 1-2-3 inning. Here comes the 1-2. That one skied the other way and hit foul. Vomhoff will do it again. Vomhoff was 0 for 1 last night. Came in as a defensive replacement and got in at bat. Lee shakes off for Rustic, now ready to go. Fires the 1-2, and Vomhoff gets a piece of it, but it's hit right to Kreitzer, who will take it himself. 7 straight Rivets hitters retired as they go down in order. Green Bay takes their commanding 2-0 lead into the bottom of the 5th. We'll be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. Booyah have a commanding 2-0 lead over the Screws as they'll be heading into the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll be starting off with Ty Olnick, Nick Santoro, then Nadir Lewis. And waiting on the umpire. Now Laurie's ready to go, making his 5th inning of work. The first pitch, Lewis shows bunt. It's a good one down the third base line, and it will trickle foul. What a defensive play from Laurie and Vomhoff. They both did not touch the ball, both let the ball just trickle foul, and Lewis would have had a base hit had one of them touched it. Great job by both Laurie on the mound and Vomhoff at third base. We do have the final line on Jack Dyke, the starter for Green Bay. Went 3 innings, gave it 3 hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. Had a dominant performance before handing the ball to Logan Lee. Comes the 0-1 to Olnick. And nice frame from Kleekamp. Brought that fastball up for a strike. Laurie in the driver's seat. Gives a nod. Here comes the 0-2. Fastball misses way outside. Screws have great defensive catchers. Jake Kleekamp, Austin Robinson, and Christian Garcia. Laurie coming with the 1-2. Fastball just misses outside. Hit his spot. Did not get the call. Kleekamp, however, does perhaps have the most power out of all of them. Most consistent power. Garcia's power too, and Robinson also picked up his first hit last night. The 2-2, and the changeup misses low. It's a great take from Olnick as that one kept tailing inside, but was low in the dirt, or low in the turf, I should say. No dirt here at CCU Park. The payoff pitch from Laurie. Ball is popped up, third base side. Vomhoff calls everyone off, and he makes the catch in foul territory. Once again, a great play earlier on from Laurie and Vomhoff to let that bunt from Olnick go into foul territory, and they end up retiring Olnick for the first out in the bottom of the 5th as Green Bay lets to extend their 2-0 lead. First pitch to the righty, Santoro. Fastball misses at the letters. 1-0. Santoro, a product of UW Whitewater. The 1-0 from Laurie. And a strike right down the heart of the zone. Toro is the third baseman in tonight's game, batting just 111. Pitch and fastball misses upstairs. Laurie has not been behind in the count too often this inning. Only slight behind, it's only 2-1. And here comes the pitch. Ball fouled straight back. A lot of foul balls directly behind the screen. Neither me or Larry have gotten a foul ball from the press box booth. We're sitting right outside of it all season long. We're still waiting on it. Like to have a souvenir. Laurie shakes off Kleekamp, now ready to go. Here comes the 2-2. Smashed out into right field, but right there is Troy Tucci to make the catch. So Laurie is dealing. Scarra wanted him to get into the 5th, and that is exactly what he has been doing. Since the first inning, Laurie has just allowed 2 base runners, both of them on walks. He has pitched so well tonight. Would not be surprised if he goes out for a 6th inning. The bullpen has been harshly taxed all season long, averaging 5 1/3 innings since the restart. First pitch to the lefty Lewis, and a curveball in there for strike 1. So third time through the order, mixing it up a bit. Going the curveball instead of the fastball first pitch around. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball misses outside. Lewis on the day has walked and scored. That was back in the first inning, and has also flied out to center field in the third. The 1-1 from Lowry. And poked out into center field. Who's going to make the catch? And no one does. As it hops over to Hawkins and fires a second. And nails Nadir, trying to stretch a single into a double. So the Lowry does give his first base hit since the first inning. He does face the minimum for the second straight. Green Bay does not score, but they'll take their 2-0 lead into the sixth. We'll be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. Welcome back to Rivets Baseball here at CCU Park in Schwabenon, Wisconsin. Now to start the top of the sixth. Green Bay still up 2-0 over the Screws. This is a must-win game for the Screws, or else they'll be eliminated from postseason contention. It will be 9-1-2 to start off the sixth. Once again on the promotions from Green Bay. They had VeggieTales playing last inning. They had a kid trying to hit a golf ball into a hole that he has struggled all season long. He's done multiple attempts, but finally got it in. A lot of fun here out here at CCU Park. The first pitch is in there for a strike to Tucci. 0-1. Logan Lee back out there for his second inning of work. The 0-1 to the Rockford Regent. Popped up, but that one will find the seats in the second deck. So it's 0-1. Tucci made a great play a couple innings ago out in right field in foul territory. He's really put on defensive web gems. His first game at Rivets Stadium actually made 2 diving plays. He's been a stalwart defender all season long. Long look in from Lee, now ready to go. Here comes the 0-2. And straight 3 called right at the belt level. Tucci thought that one was high. He shakes his head. But that is the 9th strikeout from the Screws, and they keep the looking strikeouts going. 8th looking strikeout of the night. You would think that they would start swinging down with 2 strikes to anything close, but that has not changed since the beginning of the ball game. So if one away here in the 6th and no one on, Green Bay up 2-0. Will wrap around to Jackson Dvorak. Has a 2-hit night, both of them singles. The first pitch from Lee, and the fastball misses low and outside. Dvorak a couple of nights ago got on base 5 times and scored in 3 of them. Good things happen when he reached base. The 1-0. And tap foul. Third base side. As mentioned before, he does have 10 runs on the season. Love to make that 11 and get on base once again. Lee takes a deep breath. Stares into the mitt. And the 1-1. And fouled at the top of the screen. That one might have had a chance getting the press box booth. It almost had the right angle on it. Almost would have been a bit scary if that one did not hit the top of the net. Have to use some quick reactions to try to catch that one. Regardless, Jackson Dvorak will step back in there, ready to go now. Sporting grayish batting gloves. No elbow guard. The 1-2. And swings and misses at the curveball. That was a lethal one from Logan Lee. Had a late life on it. Started breaking by the hitter's circle and dunt towards the turf. So that's the 10th strikeout from Green Bay pitching. They are really cruising along tonight. Very fast ball game. Lee stares into Beers. And the first pitch, fastball misses low and outside. Although we didn't see it that time around, both Booyah pitchers have had their fair share of first pitch strikes. And that has been the key to their success this inning and throughout the whole ball game. The 1-0 to Beers. Holds off that one and does not go around. So Rivets are ahead in the count. One of the few times tonight. Beers has struck out looking and ground to a 6-3 double play. Looking to do some damage. With a 2-0 count. Can pitch on the inner third. 2-0. So he gets it low and outside. He'll take that too. Beers does have 2 doubles this season. Extra base hit power. Here comes the 3-1. And there's a strike right over the heart of plate. Beers taking all the way. Here comes the 3-1. And fastball in the dirt, so Beers has himself a walk. That's the first from the Screws tonight. Only average around 3.5 walks per game. So they will gladly take the base runner, which is their first since the third inning. If one swing the bat, Klein can tie up this game, which seems in Green Bay's favor. They're up 2-0 with 2 outs here in the 6th. Beers a good base runner on first base. First pitch to lefty Klein. He puts down a bunt. It's a good one, too. Rusich fields, fires the first. He airmails it over the head of Kreitzer. So here comes around Beers. He'll stop the turn, as indicated by Matt Schmidt. So stopping at second is Colton Klein, and this is big for the Screws. They have runners in scoring position for the first time since the second inning. As Klein reached on the 2-base error from the catcher for Rustich, and Beers advanced to third. And now who better than Johannes Hawkinson, the cleanup hitter, with 5 RBIs in just 5 games this season. Second and third, 2 outs, Green Bay up 2-0 to first pitch to Hawkinson. In there at the belt, right over the heart of the plate, 4-1. Klein has great speed off second. A hit would assuredly bring around Beers. 2 outs, both runners will go on contact too. Lee stares in, takes a breath. The 0-1 to Hawkinson. Same pitch, same result. These Screws must not be used to having pitches called at the belt or higher, because they are shaking their head every time they see it happen. Screws have stranded 20 base runners in the past 2 nights. Can't let that happen tonight as well. Can't let the theme pour into tonight's ball game. Lee comes set. And here comes the 0-2. Hawkinson takes high and outside. Twilight has finally occurred here at Capital Credit Union Park. All 5 lights are on and shining brightly on the artificial turf. The 1-2 to Hawkinson, and curveball does not break, misses upstairs. Hawkinson does not have to be a hero, but needs to keep the assembly line moving along. Needs to find a way on base. Great contact hitter and Phil Highland on deck. He has 3 RBIs of his own this season. The most crucial moments in the game for the Screws. Logan deals the 2-2. Fastball misses low in the dirt. So after starting the count 0-2, Hawkinson is now worth the count full. The more pitches you see in the at-bat, the better the outcome is for the hitter. Lee doesn't want to lose Hawkinson, but can't give him a cookie. Most important bat in the game for the Screws thus far. Here comes a payoff from Lee. And Harasa should not make the catch. It tipped off his glove. Jammed him a bit, shaking his hand. Cannot hold on to it. So we'll do the 3-2 once again once Lee comes back to the mound. Walking all over it, knows how big this batter is. Hawkinson chokes up on the bat, trying to drive into 6 and 7 RBIs. Once again, here comes the payoff pitch, and a swing and a miss. So 11 strikeout from Booyah pitching, and most importantly, they strand 2 Rivets runners as they do not score in their biggest offensive opportunity in the ball game. Green Bay will take their 2-0 lead into the bottom of the 6th, so don't go anywhere. Be right back on Rivets Radio Network. History could be made here tonight as the Green Bay Booyah are up 2-0 over the Screws. As we are entering the bottom of the 6th inning with a win tonight, the Green Bay Booyah, formerly known as the Bullfrogs, can make the playoffs for the first time since 2015. Back out there for a 6th inning of work is Brendan Lowry. Here comes the first pitch to righty Andy Blake. Swears for a round to bunt, but that one will trickle foul third base side. Green Bay has tried to put the bunt down twice, once from Olnick, the other one from now Blake, and both of them have not been successful. Blake, the Columbia freshman, does have 14 stolen bases this season, so he does have great speed. But more on Lowry, he is the first restart Rivets pitcher to go into the 6th inning. Scarra just wanted him to go through 5, and now he's in the 6th with no signs of slowing down. All right, gets his sign. Here comes the 0-1. And Blake is late on that one, swings through it, 0-2. Lowry has just allowed 3 hits and 3 walks through 5+ innings of work, giving it both 2 runs, both of them earned back in the first inning. The 0-2. Fastball, it's awfully good, but just missed on the outside corner. Lee Camp tried to frame it, but just did not get the call. Both him and Robinson especially have great command of the strike zone. The 1-2, walked into dirt. So Blake will stay alive to see another pitch. Blake does have 4 home runs this season. He would love to give Green Bay some insurance runs. Here comes the 2-2. Tapper too short. Noah gets in a bounce, fires the first, the low throw, and it's scooped out from Dvorak. So 1 away. Noah has had a lot of those low throws this season. And Dvorak has scooped it out twice tonight. So with 1 away in the bottom of 6, Nick Kreitzer will look to do some damage. Keep on adding runs for Green Bay, who's up 2-0 over the Rivets. Kreitzer also has 4 home runs this season, is batting .333 entering tonight's game. The first pitch, left on left, misses outside. Just low in the zone, too. Kreitzer is now an alum from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Here comes the 1-0. Fastball misses upstairs. He is 0 for 1 tonight, ground out to first, and a walk back into third. The 2-0 from Lowry. And fastball does find the strike zone on the outside corner. Kreitzer thought about unloading as bat knee went, but his bat did not. Good take. Here comes the 2-1. A great curveball from Lowry. What a pitch. Kreitzer had no business swinging on that one. That one was going towards his body, went towards the middle of the plate, and had a big whiff. Lowry looking for his 5th strikeout. Here comes the 2-2. And Kreitzer fouls him off itself. Kreitzer has his fair share of strikeouts this season. 36 strikeouts and now 32 games, including this one. Lowry will do the 2-2 once again. That ball smoked into center field. That one will drop down for a base hit. So the Booyah have base hits and back-to-back innings for the first time tonight. Stark difference in Lowry's outing than Rapier's yesterday. Rapier gave up 7 straight hits in the second inning and gave up 7 runs, 3 of them earned. Here comes pitching coach Doug Coe, making the slow walk to the mound. Actually, it's JT Sierra, check that. And that will be all tonight for Brendan Lowry. He'll hand it over to the bullpen, and we'll be back in just a moment. Green Bay up 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. Welcome back. Although Green Bay is up 2-0 here in the bottom six with a runner on first and one man out, they did not do too much damage against Brendan Laurie. Went 5 1/3, gave him 4 hits, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, and also is responsible for the runner on first. Enters in the right-handed pitcher, Sam Peterson, to relieve Laurie. Right-on-right matchup. First pitch to Eberle. Fastball misses low. Kleekamp finds it in time, as Kreitzer will stay on first base. Peterson is a freshman from Henry County College, making a start of the season for the Screws. Has pitched to a 3.86 ERA so far. The 1-0. This is low and outside. Eberle has flown out twice to center field. 0 for 2 in the night. 2-0 from Peterson. Tapper to short. This could be 2. Noah flips to second for 1. On to first. And the call is safe. Eberle was way too quick and wasn't the strongest of throws from Highland. It was a bit high, and it did not go too hard out of the hand. But at the end of the day, the Screws do get the lead runner on the 6-4 putout. So 2 away in the bottom of the 6th inning. Cameron Tilley will try to send the Green Bay's 2-0 lead. Another right-on-right matchup. Tilley 1 for 2 in the day. Has been caught stealing. Pitch from Peterson. Fastball misses outside. Peterson pitching from the stretch. Drops down to a 2-quarter motion. Lone side armor on the team. The 1-0. Fastball dots the outside corner. Tilley can't believe it. What spectator umpire says, really? Is that low? It's a tall player. Around 6'3". The 1 run from Peterson. That one hits the inside corner. So he's dotting both sides of the plate. He's looking to throw the 5th consecutive scoreless inning for the Rivets. Something essentially unheard of for the restart team. Here comes the 1-2. That slice into right field for a base hit. Going all the way to third is Kreitzer. So the Green Bay Booyah have 2 hits an inning for the first time since the first. They're looking to add some much-needed insurance runs. So you can never have too many, especially in a game with a win. But bring Green Bay to the playoffs for the first time since 2015. So runners on the corners, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. It'll be up to Steven Hrustich to extend Green Bay's 2-0 lead. First pitch, popped up. It'll be in foul territory, the Muna Triangle coming in. And wow, Phil Highland tried to jump back and make that play. He overran it, tried to correct himself, and just could not catch the ball. That could be huge for the Rivets. Their offense have been lackluster tonight and yesterday as well. Highland even laid down on the ground for a second, hands on his head. Annoyed at himself he couldn't make the play. He's hoping that his pitcher, Sam Peterson, can bail him out. Nothing he can do about it now. Hrustich has batted just .178 entering tonight's game. So Peterson's still in the driver's seat. Here comes the 0-1. Another pop-up, this time in fair ground. Shortstop Noah calls off Highland. He makes the catch right behind Highland. So Green Bay had an eventful bottom of the 6th, but they do not score in strand 2. And not score for the past 6 innings, but still take a 2-0 lead into the top of the 7th. We'll be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. The Rivets have been held scoreless through 6 innings of baseball. Back out here at Capital Credit Union Park for the 7th. The Rivets are due up. They had runners on second and third last inning, but could not score. As Logan Lee steps back on the rubber for his third inning of work, and stepping into the batter's box is Phil Highland. Lee just wanted to repeat the signs, and now he's ready to go. The first pitch to number 5 hitter, in there for a strike. Highland dropped a foul ball in foul territory last inning, and he was not happy about that one. But luckily, his teammates bailed him out, so it did not matter. He's hoping to make up for it with the bat, however. Best way to bring back his focus, the 0-1. And that ball is hit right into the glove of Nick Kreitzer. Looks like it might drop, but Kreitzer tailed that one well and makes the catch for out number 1. Here in the top of the 7th at CCU Park, Green Bay up 2-0. The Rivets are hoping for some spark and perhaps be out of the bat of Jake Kleekamp. The right-handed hitter from Judson. First pitch, big swing and a miss. Kleekamp has a very level swing. Goes bat to ball very well. Has a .333 batting average entering tonight's game, but has struck out twice, both of them looking tonight. He's ready to swing the bat, though, on the first pitch. Now calls time. Adjusts his stirrups, something commonly worn by Rivets players. Very snazzy blue and gold. Here comes the 0-1 from Lee. And fastball dots the outside corner. Almost every batter, it seems like, has been behind for the Screws tonight. Not solved Green Bay pitching. Lee hoping to get 12th strikeout for the Booyah. Does not on that pitch as that one misses upstairs. Rivets would love a base runner. Need to get some runs across the plate. Here comes the 1-2. And Kleekamp has the 3rd strikeout. He has a hat trick on the night. And Logan Lee picks up his 5th. Rivets offense has really struggled. They just have 3 hits tonight and 1 walk to go with it. Enters in the righty Nowick. Takes a fastball that misses outside. Looks like things were getting going for them, the 6. All thanks to Green Bay pitching and defense, but the offense has really not come through. Comes the 1-0. And fastball misses low out and outside. Nowick, the high school senior, heading to UIC in the fall. Batting just .195 on the year. But does have 6 RBIs. Great power numbers, too. 2-0, misses low and outside, and hey, there we go. Rivets ahead in the count. Perhaps hoping to get their 2nd walk of the night. They need some type of spark. Must-win game for them. They lose tonight, they will miss the playoffs for the 3rd straight year in a row. 3-0 to Nowick, taking all the way, and he works himself a 4-pitch walk. So Rivets perhaps having a 2-out rally. And once again, they bring up a left-handed hitter. And Sam Vomhoff, one of 2 lefties in the game tonight for the Screws. The other one being Colton Klein. One swing of the bat from Vomhoff, eyeing that .282 blue monster out in right field, would tie up this ball game as Green Bay is ahead 2-0 here in the top of the 7th with 2 men out. Pitch from Lee, misses high and outside. The redshirt sophomore has good line drive approach. But virtually anyone could hit over that .282 sign at this level. Right on left matchup. The 1-0 to Vomhoff. Fouls it back. And what a play from a fan in a white shirt. That ball was diving down fast. He reached over his seat, stuck out his hand over the railing, and somehow held on to the baseball. He's not giving that souvenir up. He is gladly keeping that one. What a play. Give that man a contract. Lee has a long hold and deals the 1-1. Once again, fouled off. And another fan gets the ball, but that one rolls off. He tries to show off, and everyone does clap for him. Green Bay faithful showing off their glowing head caps, almost, yeah, their crowns. That's what I was going for. That was the right word. Blinking in the dark Wisconsin night. Both the lights and the crowns taking full effect, shining across the diamond. Here comes the 1-2 from Lee. Another foul ball off towards the first base side for Vomhoff. Vomhoff staying tough here. Having a great at-bat. No longer at-bats for the Rivets tonight, who have gone down often and early. A lot of them on 3-pitch strikeouts, too. Time is called as Steven Hrustich behind the dish will taunt to his pitcher, Logan Lee. Trying to figure out a way how to solve Vomhoff, who has fouled off 3 straight pitches off to the third base side. Vomhoff just trying to find any way on base. I'd love to run into one, but just getting on base could really help the Screws. Tying run at the plate. And a throw over, not in time. His teammates were yelling to throw over, and Lee did just that. But no, it was back in there safely. Takes a good-sized lead off first base. There's 2 stolen bases on the season. Here comes the 1-2 from Lee. And Vomhoff fouls off a 4th straight. This time right back to the screen. He is trying to get something going for the Screws. And to his credit, even though he's behind the count, he was right on top of that one. Could be a good sign to come for the Screws. Vomhoff needs to protect, which he has been doing. High bat off the left side. 1-2 again. And the curveball misses upstairs. Vomhoff is a tall player. Stands at around 6'3". That one broke right at the letters, but no call from home plate umpire Travis Patience. Perhaps the best naming home plate umpire in the league. The 2-2 from Lee. Fastball misses high and outside. Vomhoff is really working the count. Working the at-bat. If he gets on base, it makes things that much more easier for Troy Tucci. Has good contact skills, but has struggled at the plate. Nowick will be on the move on this 3-2 count. Fires, and Vomhoff strikes out swinging. 13th strikeout from Green Bay pitching as they strand the Rivets base runner. The Rivets have been held scoreless through 7. Green Bay's up 2-0. Time to get up and stretch. We'll be right back to the bottom of the 7th on the Rivets Radio Network. Back here in the bottom of the 7th in Green Bay. They're up 2-0. Peterson back on the mound for his second inning of work and dials in strike one. Batter is Noah Granite, who is 0 for 1 the day, the 1-0. And that ball hit to short. Noah steps, fires to first. This time a good throw around. Had some low throws early on, but that's the job done this time for the first out. So one away. It's been a 2-0 game for a while now, all the way back since the bottom of the first. And both sides have not scored any runs since. Peterson pitching to Onik, the lefty. And Onik swings and misses at the first offering. Onik is 0 for 2 in the night. Has a strikeout and a pop fly to third base. Here comes the 0-1 from Peterson. And misses with the slider low and outside. Most side armors from the right side especially will have a two-seamer and a slider. Peterson has just that. Two-seamer misses outside. Now 2-1. Onik, the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee product, take the 2-1 and foul someone straight back. Onik is one of 5 position players for the Green Bay Booyah that have been here since day one. A lot of new players have coming in the later weeks, which is customary for the Northwoods League. The 1-2 misses high and outside. Jet, now it's 3-2. But Onik has seen it all, especially for Green Bay. The full pitch, and that one misses high and outside. So 4th walk from Rivets pitching, the first from Peterson. Usually the Screws, they average around 7 or 8 walks a night. So tonight with 4, even though that's still a good amount, they'll gladly take it. Didn't have too many walks last night, though, just 3. First pitch to the righty Santoro, and it hits him. It gets him on the hand. First hit by pitch either night. This night from either side. As Santoro will walk down the line. So runners on first and second. Bit painful for Santoro. And standing on second is Tyne Onik, of course. Gets a mound visit from Jake Kleekamp. Trying to settle him down a little bit, especially a big hitter in Nadir Lewis. He's just about to come up. Peter's on the mound, but Lewis taking his time. Lewis goes to Princeton, a very prestigious school. So not only is he a great baseball player, but also is very academically gifted. 2 on, 1 out. 2-0 ballgame bottom of the 7th. The first pitch to Lewis misses outside. Lewis is 1 for 2 tonight. Has a walk, a run scored, a fly out, and got caught at second, stretching a single into a double, which ended the 5th inning. Pitch from Peterson, and a tapper to second. This could be 2. Highland to short, on to first, but not in time. They do get the lead runner, however, or I should say the runner at second base on the 4-6 force. Moving to third is Onik, and now 2 are away. Here in the bottom of the 7th at CCU Park in Green Bay. The Booyah up 2-0. And steps in Andy Blake for his 4th plate appearance of the night. He has 12 RBIs in 44 games this season. trying to add one more, add in some insurance runs. The first pitch, runner going to throw down to second, and it is not in time. The third base umpire, Connor McKenzie, says that he was safe, and coming around to score was Olnick. So it's a double steal for Green Bay. Phil Highland could not believe it. Almost wish that his manager, JT Scare, would probably come out and argue that call. It was a great throw from Kleekamp. Couldn't have asked any better. But it didn't look like that. Lewis slid around the bag, slid around the tag. Pitch and a big swing and a miss from Blake. So it'll be an 0-2 count. So Green Bay now up 3-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. They finally added an insurance run. As much needed to, even though the Rivets haven't been scoring. Always good in a playoff matchup. With a win, Green Bay can advance to the playoffs for the first time in 5 years. Pitch from Peterson, and smote the other way over the head of Jackson Dvorak into right field. That'll be extra bases for Blake, and coming around to score is Lewis. So it's an RBI double, and Green Bay is now up 4-0. How do you like that? Green Bay got their first 2 runs in the first inning. Did not score any runs from innings 2 through 6. Scored 2 in the 7th. And now here comes JT Scara. Long walk to the mound. He will take the ball out of Peterson's hands. The Booyah are hot. They're looking for a playoff clincher. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back as the Green Bay are up 4-0. With the Screws down 4-0, they will turn to Ross Thompson, the soon-to-be redshirt senior out of Heidelberg University. Thompson has pitched in 3 games this season, has a 2.45 ERA and 3 2/3 innings pitched. The right-handed pitcher will face the lefty Kreitzer, runner on second base, and 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. And there's a strike that clips the outside corner, 0-1. And just in case you missed it, the Green Bay Booyah won. They got their run scored on a double steal. Ty Onet stole home, and an RBI double from Andy Blake. The 0-1, fastball misses outside, 1-1. So Green Bay is putting a lot more pressure on the Rivets offense to come through. They'll have sit-outs to do it after this half inning. Here comes the 1-1 from Thompson. Fastball misses high and outside. Thompson has been one of the most effective relievers out of the bullpen for the Screws. He has 5 strikeouts and 3 2/3 innings pitched. Trying to hold the Booyah right here. But Kreitzer will foul it off. 2-2 now. Kreitzer is 1 for 3 on the day. Grounded to first, a walk, and a single to center field. He's looking for his 15th RBI this season. Thompson deals a 2-2. That one's a grounder to first. Dvorak will take it himself, and that's the inning. Not before the Green Bay Booyah score 2. They add some extra runs to their pad, and they're up 4-0. They are 6 outs away from pushing their first playoff berth since 2015. Stay tuned. We'll be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. Welcome back to the top of the 8th. The Screws are now down 4-0, but the Green Bay promotions continue to be very exciting. And there is a pinch hitter for the Screws. It is number 36, and Brian Sturdivant. The outfielder from UW Whitewater, making his first at-bat of the night. Places Troy Tucci in the ballgame. Likely to play right field. The first pitch from Lee misses upstairs. Sturdivant hopes to get things going for the Screws, who have just been limited to 3 hits all night long and no runs. 1-0 from Lee, and that one finds the strike zone to even the count. Sturdivant has had some big hits this season, so we can get things started for the Screws in the 8th. They score 4 runs quickly. The 1-1. A bait swing miss at the fastball. Logan Lee has been incredible. Has thrown 4 strong so far in his 5th inning of work, and has not allowed any runs. And no hits either, just 2 walks to boot. Trying to look for another strike out the 1-2, and Sturdivant powers that one into right field. The right fielder gives away to center fielder Nadir Lewis, and he makes the catch for out number 1. So Sturdivant is not able to get the job done in his first at-bat, but talking about a player who has gotten the job done so far, and that is Jackson Dvorak. He is 2 for 3 in the night with 2 singles and a strikeout. He's been so good when he gets on base, and the Rivets lineup has followed suit with that. First pitch from Lee. Fastball misses upstairs. Rustich wanted that one. Stuck it out long enough, but Trevor Patience had no patience for that one. Had to use that last name in some sort of way at some point tonight. Too good of an opportunity to pass up. Lee awaits Jackson Dvorak to come back in the box. Now both are ready to go. Here comes the 1-0. And a big swing and a miss from Dvorak. He's an interesting type of leadoff hitter. Has great power, but also gets on base frequently. So the former a bit unusual for a leadoff hitter. Lee shakes off a Rustich. Juan looking to the mid. Now they agree. The 1-1. Curveball misses upstairs. Dvorak fell back on that one. He buckled a little bit at it, but was called a ball. And of course, that was in his favor. The wind is howling towards left field. Here comes the 2-1. Fastball way inside. Dvorak looking to reach a base for the third time tonight. Rivets have just had 3 hits and 2 walks today. Here comes the 3-1 to Dvorak. Fastball right over the heart of the zone. Perhaps he thought it was a bit closer to the outer third, but that one was a pretty good fastball over the plate. Rivets need base runners if they're going to make this comeback. If they lost, they'll be eliminated from playoff contention. Here comes the 3-2, and the curveball misses in the dirt. Perhaps the Screws will get a 1-out rally, and maybe I was thinking of the original starter there, but regardless, they do have a runner on board. Need a bunch more, but who better than Dvorak to lead it off, followed by Sam Beers, who in the Restart Rivets' first win of the season when they won 16-15 over Fond du Lac, he was named Northwood's League Player of the Night with 5 RBIs. First pitch to Beers, takes a strike. It's 1 out, runner on first base in Dvorak. Here at the top of the 8th, Green Bay up 4-0 over the Screws. They have been leading all game long, with no sight really of coughing up the lead. Lead comes set, and here comes the 0-1. Beer swings through it. Not catch up to that one. He does have a compact swing. Be a big swing though, as he has 11 strikeouts on the season. Lee looking for another strikeout. Not before a throw over to first where Dvorak comes in safely. Lee is looking for the Booyah's 14th strikeout of the night. Here comes the 0-2. And that one is tap foul, third base side. So Beer stays alive, putting up a good battle. Does have good plate discipline. He is batting, he does have a .415 on base percentage entering tonight's game. Needs to find a way on. Rivets hoping to come back late. Here comes the 0-2 from Lee. And Beers goes down swinging. So Logan Lee helps pick up the 14th strikeout from Green Bay pitching. That's his 7th of his own. So both him and the starter Dyke have had 7 strikeouts apiece. We have 2 away in the 8th. Green Bay with their 4-0 lead are just 4 outs away from clinching the playoffs for the first time since 2015. First pitch to the lefty Klein, and he ropes that one into right field, making headway, and will bounce off the wall. There'll be extra bases for Klein. Actually, will have to retreat to first. It looked like that at first. I was hit so hard off the wall, but it came back in quickly. Nice throw from the center fielder Nadir Lewis. So it'll be runners on the corners instead. This is the best opportunity the Screws have had since the sixth inning, when they had runners on second and third with 2 men out. That's when Johannes Hawkinson struck out swinging to end the threat. Out comes manager Tom Carty. This will be a call to the bullpen, and impressive outing from Logan Lee. Going 4 2/3 strong, striking out 7, and just giving up 1 hit while walking 3 batters. Actually, has not made the call yet. We did hear call to bullpen over the speaker. Now he gives the call. Manager Tom Carty just want to give him the word. Yes, a big round of applause from the fans. Well deserved. He was excellent tonight. We'll be right back. New pitcher. Green Bay up 4-0. Screws have runners in the corners with 2 men out. Be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. Here at the top of the 8th at Capital Credit Union Park, the Rivets have runners on first and second with 2 men out. They'll bring up Johannes Hawkinson, who has struck out 3 times today. And there's a new pitcher in the ball game. It is Connor Spear, who has not allowed a single earned run in 3 appearances, going 6 1/3 strong. First pitch to Hawkinson, way inside. Spear is a product of the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. He's from all the way from Indiana. The 1-0. Fastball misses upstairs again. Hawkinson trying to find a way on, and a good hitter's count. Trying to make up for those previous 3 strikeouts. Comes the 2-0. Fastball misses upstairs again. This is a good sign for the Screws, because Spear has no control entering the ball game. Hawkinson would be wise not only to take this pitch, perhaps the next 2. Just need base runners. 3-0. Takes all the way and works himself a 4-pitch walk. As the Screws get their 4th walk of the game. So they're doing a little better than their 3.5 average. That was an important walk from Hawkinson. Loads the bases, tying run at the plate for Phil Highland. With his great contact skills, he's hoping that a ball can drop. He's made contact all 3 times tonight. It's only Rivet who can say that. as the Green Bay Booyah have racked up 14 strikeouts. Pitch to Highland. It's a fastball right down the chute. Jackson Dvorak off third. Colton Klein off second. Johannes Hawkinson off first. 2 outs. Bases are juiced. Green Bay up 4-0. Long look in from Connor Spear. Time is called. Spear, the redshirt junior, hoping to keep the Rivets scoreless. Here comes the 0-1. And Highland fouls it straight back, even gets a piece of Travis Patience, the home plate umpire, behind the plate. More importantly, however, Highland is behind with an 0-2 count. Needs to protect. He has only struck out 4 times in 12 games this season. Arguably the best contact hitter on the Restart Rivets team. Needs to find a way. 0-2 pitch from Spear. Misses high and inside. This might be the most important at bat for the Rivets. If they lose this one, they're eliminated from the playoffs, and they're chasing by 4. Highland has to come through here if they want to win this ball game. Here comes the 1-2 from Spear. Fastball misses high again. Highland worked in the count. Something that these new Rivets have done a lot this season, but not too much in tonight's ball game. Long looking from Spear, making sure he can get the signs. Highland calls time again. It's his time, and he will do as he pleases, trying to throw off Spear a little bit. Tactic hitters and pitchers, for that matter, will often do. Spear comes set, trying to end this inning. And here comes the 2-2. Curveball misses high in the zone. So with that, the runners will be off on the pitch. An extra base hit from Highland here could mean 3 runs come around to score. Dvorak off third. Beers off second. Klein off second. Hawkinson off first, and that's a pop-up into shallow right field. There to make the catch is Noah Granite. And the Screws strand the bases loaded. Green Bay is just 3 outs away from stealing a 4-0 victory, and more importantly, their first playoff berth since 2015. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. Green Bay 4, Rockford 0. We are back here at Capital Credit Union Park in the bottom of the 8th. Reliever Ross Thompson back out there for his second inning of work. He'll try to hold the Booyah right here. Facing Weston Eberle, Cameron Tilley, and Stephen Hrustich at the very least. Straight switch in the outfield as Brian Sturdivant is in right field. And fastball dots the inside corner, 0-1. Thompson's been one of the best relievers for the Screws. He's pitched to a sub-3 ERA. Comes the 0-1. Fastball misses low. Thompson trying to make it just a little easier for the Screws, as they have to score 4 runs in the top of the ninth to keep playing the mist of postseason baseball. That ball smoked. Foul, but on the third base line. Wide of the third base line, I should say. So it's 1-2. Pitching has looked a lot better tonight, however, and that's a positive sign. Here comes the 1-2. And a big swing and a miss from Weston Eberle. That was a nasty slider from Ross Thompson. Picking up the Rivets' first strikeout since the 4th inning. 1 away. As mentioned, the bullpen has been excellent. Brendan Laurie went 5 1/3, giving up 2 runs. Peterson went an inning, giving up 2 runs, and Thompson has thrown 1 1/3 scoreless here in the bottom of the 8th. Green Bay still up 4-0. First pitch to Tilley. Fastball right over the heart of the plate, 0-1. However, the offense, which has been very good as of late, has not come through. They were very close in the top half. Here comes the 0-1. That ball is fouled straight back. They had the bases loaded with 2 men out, but just could not score. And they have stranded their fair share of base runners tonight. 8, in fact, and has cost them. Thompson stares in, but not before Tilley calls time. He's determined to throw another goose egg on the board for the Screws. Comes the 0-2, and fastball just misses outside. Thompson dials back in. Here comes the 1-2. And a second straight strikeout. That one on the foul tip. And Thompson is looking awfully sharp right now. Making his first appearance in a couple of days, and he was in full command of his pitching arsenal. Perhaps a 1-2-3 and can fire the Rivets offense up. First pitch to the right-handed hitter. This is Stephen Hrustich. He's a switch hitter, but he's batting from the right-hand side. Which is really odd because he batted righty against Brendan Laurie, batted left against the righty Sam Peterson, now bats righty against Ross Thompson. And a big swing and a miss, 0-2. Thompson is in the driver's seat right now, trying to do whatever he can to help out his team. Trying to strike out the side. Here comes the 0-2. Ball is smoked to right field. That one is lifted deep into the air, but right into the glove of Brian Sturdivant. So Thompson has himself a 1-2-3 inning. Rivets have to score 4 runs in the top of the 9th, as Green Bay is just 3 outs away from clinching the playoffs for the first time since 2015. We'll be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to CCU Park. Green Bay 4, Rockford nothing. Green Bay is just 3 outs away from clinching a playoff spot. The first pitch to the ready Kleekamp is in there for a strike on the inside corner. Comes the pitch from Spear. Back out there for a second of work, and that one misses outside. It'll be Kleekamp, Nowick, and Vomhoff at the very least. Big swing and a miss from Kleekamp. Green Bay has struck out 14 rivets tonight. Kleekamp has struck out 3 times already. Here comes the 1-2. Curveball misses high and upstairs. Kleekamp needs to get on. Here comes the 2-2. Fouls that one straight back. He is one of the purest hitters in the Rivets lineup. Batting .333 before entering tonight's game. Comes the 2-2 once again. And straight 3 called on the outside corner. Rustich will fire to first and complete the putout. And now 2 outs away for Green Bay. And with that strikeout, 15 screws have gone down on strikes. Just a great night all around for Green Bay. They are looking to clinch the playoffs for the first time since 2015. The first pitch to Nowick misses upstairs. Nowick is 0 for 2 in the night. Strikeout, a ground at the short, and a walk. Here's the 1-0. Big swing and miss for Nowick. These Rivets have had unfortunate circumstances. They came in and have lost the last 11 out of 12 games. Here comes the 1-1. Another big swing and miss on the off-speed pitch. Nowick down 1-2. They struggle offensively, defensively, pitching-wise. It's been a tough going for them. But they've remained in the playoff race. Here comes the 1-2. As that one goes down in the tarp. As for Rustich should not make the catch. Of course, an artificial turf in Green Bay. Nonetheless, this team has showed a lot of grit. They've been doing better as of late. Scored 28 runs in back-to-back days. Here comes the 2-2. As Nowick fouls the one off, staying alive. Scored those 28 runs from the 16th to 17th against Dot Spiders and the Loggers. Nowick trying to keep the at-bat going. Here comes the 2-2. Fastball misses high and tight. Rivets need base runners. They're trailing by 4. Here comes the full count. And a bait swing and a miss. 16th Rivet down on strikes. And Green Bay are now just 1 out away from a victory and a playoff berth. They'll be up to the pinch hitter, Kyle Hamilton, who replaces Sam Vonhoff. It's an interesting strategy for manager JT Skira as Hamilton draws his fair share of walks. He's a left-hand hitter that stands at 5'8". First pitch from Spear, and just misses low. Rivets are hoping for a 2-out Lally. And a big one. Here comes the 1-0. Fastball misses outside. 2 outs, top of the 9th. Green Bay up 4-0. Looking to clinch a playoff berth. Here comes the 2-0. Big swing and a miss from Hamilton. Perhaps looking towards that 282 Blue Monster. Hamilton steps back in. Here comes a 2-1 from Spear. Another big swing and a miss. And Green Bay is just 1 strike away from clinching the playoffs for the first time since 2015. Fans are standing up. Here comes the 2-2 from Spear. As a tapper to shortstop, Blake steps, fires to first, and it's in time. The Green Bay Booyah have made the playoffs for the first time since they were the Green Bay Bullfrogs in 2015. The lights are flickering on and off. Green Bay is loving it. The fans are loving it. But unfortunately for the Screws, they are officially eliminated from playoff contention. Team has dropped 12 of their last 13 games, but until tonight, they were still in the midst of a playoff battle. Kudos to their entire team for staying it this long. They just could not push it one game further, not get their first playoff berth since 2017. So with the loss, Rivets will play a final game tomorrow. 6:05 time at 6:35, excuse me, at Green Bay. Will not count for the playoffs for the Screws as they have been eliminated. But they're hoping to perhaps end their season a high note with a victory. But Green Bay, on the other hand, in 2 days' time, will be playing the Dot Spiders at Here Baker Field. Players are all very ecstatic right now, all giving high fives, lots of smiles all around, but a sad outlook for the Screws. Feeling confident into tonight's game, but could not pull out the stops. They had one of their better pitching performances, however, but their offense could just not keep up. Just having 4 hits and stranding 8 runners on base. So getting the win is Logan Lee, who went 4 1/3 strong, giving up just 1 hit, walking 3, and striking out 7. For the Screws, getting the tough luck loss is Brendan Lowry, going 5 1/3 innings, giving up 4 hits, 2 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Arguably the best outing on the new Screws team. That just about does it here at Capital Credit Union Park. Once again, the Rockford Rivets have been eliminated from contention. The Green Bay are in the postseason. They will play at Here Baker Field on Friday. Other playoff implications include the Loggers playing against the Rafters at Witterfield also on Friday. Fortunately, Rockford will not be in the playoff chase anymore, but it's been a good long season from them. Lots of changes. A coronavirus hiatus made them miss 5 games. Having their original 34-man roster dwindle down to 1, only to bring it back with 25 new players who have faced their fair share of adversity. So it's been a great season so far. We'll do it one more time tomorrow. Once again, Rockford, Green Bay at CCU Park at 6:35 time. Green Bay won this game 4-0. Thank you all for tuning in. From my peers at Rivets Stadium, from the entire Rivets team for putting up such a good fight all season long, I'm Adam Cohen, saying good night and thank you for tuning in here at CCU Park once again. Green Bay won 4-0.